Hello, this is the LEGO Star Wars TIE Fighter and Y-Wing 2-in-1 set from the year 1999, the very year that LEGO Star Wars itself began, so they were still using the original yellow heads for figures. Of course, this TIE Fighter is no ordinary TIE Fighter. It is Darth Vader's own advanced TIE, X-1 from A New Hope, and the trench run and all, which is why it's going against a Y-Wing, is going to defeat that Y-Wing easily, or at least that's the official story. It's up to kids to change that story if they like. Yeah, they used blue in the color scheme to change things up a little bit so it wouldn't be too boring. Also, the original idea for ties was to have some bluishness in their color scheme, but yeah, that's what LEGO did. They just had their regular blue. They didn't have as many colors available. They didn't have as many parts available in different colors as they do today, so this is how it ended up looking. The overall shape is pretty good, but certainly they're doing a lot better nowadays. The logos, or the insignias on the wings, if you will, are actually printed pieces. There's also one on the top. And this front canopy is a printed piece as well. Now, the top of the thing opens up like a big hatch. That's how you get Vader in there. The front does not open forward, so this is the only way to get access to him. And he does have just one of those standard printed tile pieces, the 1x2 in front of him to represent a console. You can't really fit him in there with his cape, unfortunately. You do have to take that off, otherwise it's going to get really, really crinkled up. The one unfortunate thing about this build is that the wings feel very floppy because of the way that they're attached. It's nice that you can kind of break these off safely to represent destroying a craft, but you know, it's put together with these Technic bricks. And actually this part will also come off right here because you see that they were these ones that were used like axles, but they're just a little bit loose. You know, these are non-friction types, although there we go. And then you have a similar thing going on for this entire rear section. So all these modules just feel a little bit on the loose side, which just makes it feel lower in quality. Now you could change the angles of these wings if you wanted to bring these out like this to give it a little bit different look. Those are just hinged in, but that's pretty much it for the advanced tie. This Y-Wing had a pretty good look, pretty nice shaping, and I like the colors that were chosen. Again, given the limited palette and the limited number of parts that were available in various colors, I think this was done quite well for its day. The engine pods are shaped up nicely. That was probably a surprising and really cool technique that was used. And this actually has a number of things that you can move around, and it has a number of prints on it. First of all, the ion cannon up here, the turret, can rotate around. There's no elevation control, and that is on just a regular loose 2x2 turntable, so it kind of can flop around if you're just playing with things, swishing it around. But it's there, it's proper. I think that shape, same canopy that was used for the Snow Speeder and X-Wing, I think that actually works out really well. I think that was a very good design choice. You know, it's not the most accurate thing for each one, but if you're going to have one piece that's reused, I think that they chose a good shape. A little bit of greebling on this, you know, a little bit of texturing as well. This was unexpected. They had this area that you could kind of unlock to get some cargo out of this. So this is a printed, let's get that to, there we go, drop on out, printed door on this little chest piece. Nothing to go inside of it, but that was something you could carry. Obviously there's an R2 unit, or an astromech unit, that is able to fit in there side, you know, shoulders abreast, the way that you like to see it. This also can open up back here, so you could put some accessories back there. Depending upon who you had piloting this, if they had a blaster or a lightsaber, you could stick the parts of that in there. And these are printed here on the sides, giving it even more texture and detail. Even the inside of the cockpit was pretty good. The pilot had to lean way back, but he could fit 2 control sticks in his hands, and He had that printed console in front of him. Of course, the way he's leaned back, you would never be able to see that, but I think it's more than good enough for imagination, and that was another good choice of print right there. Now check out original, old school Darth Vader with chrome lightsaber hilt and simplistic printing for the torso on that one. That will always be a classic, the original Lego Darth Vader, officially. It's cool to see the old one. I mean, level of detail on the newer ones is so much better, and that helmet, really, it's funny. It's so far forward and it's so flat from the top, but it will always have a fond place in the memories of many. The Rebel pilot is none other than Y-Wing Gold Leader Dutch Vander. So it's actually based on a proper character, not just a random pilot. And the printing for this one I think was pretty good. It also had good print for the head, no alternate faces for these in these days, no print on the back of the torso. But look at this helmet especially. The print all across the top of that helmet is really, really good. That's what really helps to identify him in particular. That is just nice. The old Lego has done so well with their Star Wars helmet prints through the years. I didn't realize they had done so well all the way back to 1999. Very good. Yeah, no alternate faces, no printing on the back, but I've got to see the print for Darth Vader. Just pretty straightforward. I think that it worked perfectly well. I think that was a really good one. The light gray color, I think, made sense. We got some of the scarring in there, and I think that captured helmetless Vader very well in Lego form. Now obviously this looks like an R2 unit because it uses the R2 unit design. However, it's supposed to represent R5-D4, the famous R5 unit that's been made into more toys and models than any other, I believe. They did what they could with what they had. They didn't have that specialized shape for a head for these at the time, so they just had the round R2 style one, and they went with it. Nowadays this would be inexcusable because this is obviously the R2 shape, but it was definitely the closest thing they had shape-wise to an R5 head. What is most bizarre to me is that they use the R2 style of printing, the design. They could have easily printed the R5 style of eyes and the single ring around the top for the red part, and done that very differently to make it look a lot more like an R5 unit. So strange decisions here. Now let's look at some more different things on the back of this original instruction manual. They suggest that you crash these two craft into each other, break them apart, and make them into something else, like that. That is cool. That is a really, really cool alternate build. It actually looks like something that would be from the Star Wars universe. And I think it just looks cool as it is. Just, the colors don't go together perfectly, but I could easily see that being an official design. So that's cool. And then you've got this as another suggestion, which goes in a completely whimsical direction. They get medieval with it. They turn it into a big old battering ram. That's so funny and clever. The ram would actually be able to swing. So this had an action feature built into it. Look at this, got a closed cockpit back there, and it still has the astromech to pilot it. This is an interesting thing as well. I probably wouldn't have done it the same myself, would have done something different with the front wheels there, but it's interesting, ground attack craft with I guess it's like a turret up top, or you can see that as being a camera rig. So this is how all the Star Wars films were actually filmed in universe, is that they had something like this to go around. But yeah, just suggestions for different stuff to do with these same parts. That was cool. So that's the TIE Fighter and Y-Wing combination set from 1999, the year when Lego Star Wars began, and when many of us former or soon to be once again Lego fans like myself were saying, come on, licensed stuff by Lego, this is the exact opposite of creativity. This is not a good thing. This is a bad look for Lego. This could be the end of Lego. Well, how things have changed. Now Lego Star Wars is one of the most collected and most revered toy series in the world, period. How far things have come indeed, mostly with just our own minds and how we perceive things, how we look at things, but the designs have progressed as well. Yet when you look back at something like this, it wasn't that bad. Even today, it's not that bad. You know, we have a different level of fidelity, a different resolution that's used to create sets. You know, lots more small parts and more specialized shapes and such, but this is still a collectible set and a displayable set, I think. That's just my opinion. Those are just my opinions. Let me know what you think. Share your thoughts in a comment down below with myself and also the rest of the viewers. It's always appreciated. Thank you for your time. I hope you've enjoyed this. I'll talk to you again soon.